Let's Play! Hi guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 4. In the last part, we got through North Chamba, and we're going to be seeing Cray up at the crash site. Now, you probably won't be able to tell, actually you probably will because I'll sound a lot more organized, that I am actually doing this post-commentary. I was a little overzealous with my recording, so I wasn't able to save it before I moved on to my next project. But we have a cute little reunion here. And Cray's all like, "Don't do this, Nina. Nina, am I glad to see you? I was beginning to worry that something had happened." I don't know what voice to give him. I can't do a deep sort of voice. And oh, Nina's crying. "I'm sorry, Cray." "Oh, I just want to hug her." Come on, guys. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Be honest. Nina's the cutest character ever. Well, other than, like, cute little creatures. Oh, I almost forgot. Cray, this is Ryu and Urshin. Oh, Urshin.
Why don't you sit down and tell me all about what happened,
I can't do... this guy obviously has, like, a very deep voice, and I can't do a deep sort of native-y voice which would fit him. I imagine him having a very strong voice.
I see.
And so, in the end, I wasn't able to get the parts we needed. And if it hadn't been for Ryu and Urshin, I probably wouldn't have made it back here at all.
Don't worry about the parts. I'm just glad you made it back in one piece. I never should have let you go off by yourself.
Oh, Cray. You so cray. Oh, that hurts. Urshin is saying that it appears as if your sandflower was damaged by a dragon.
That's right. How do you know that?
It would appear that Urshin can sense such things. Urshin is very sleepy.
I'm sorry, you must be tired after your journey. Well, I just want to thank you all for what you've done for Nina. As you can see, I can't offer much in the way of style, but you're welcome to spend the night here.
And thus we do. It's interesting, though, at this point in the game, it's really like, to Cray, Urshin and Ryu are considered almost equals. It's like, Cray doesn't realize that we're, like, you know, a main character and all that, but for some reason, Nina's having a dream. Oh boy. Thankfully, it doesn't go Inception, and we don't go into dreams. Or instead of Inception, if you want a video game example, Kingdom Hearts 3D. Boy, that game's story is convoluted.
This is it.
I don't know what I was saying here, but for some reason I took a long-ass pause. Like a really long-ass pause. Did I go make a sandwich or something? What was I talking about? We get it. This is it, okay? Past me, you can continue. Any second now, past me. What was I talking about? Probably about how, like, all the Rule 34 and the entire Breath of Fire series, its majority of it is Cray.
This is the place they're holding Alina!
Almost missed that. Woo. Yes. It's just like Ryu's dream showed us. Right? Oh, Ryu's like a little shaggy dog.
Don't get your hopes up too much. We still need to find her. Let's go!
And thus, we are in the dream world. This section is pretty interesting. Before that, though, let's take a look at some of Cray's stuff. So, he has a log. It's big, it's hard, it's wood. He also has a waistcloth and a brass helmet. And I'm just using the best equipment for all of them. They already do have the best equipment, so it's all good. No need to switch it up at all. And I think I go back to equip... What do I equip? Oh, right, it's, his weapon is a log and it's earth attack. So that means, I'm not sure what that means. It's base element when you attack with it is earth, or if it's special abilities to use an earth attack. So, you can't, there's other places to save other than the overworld, which is these diaries, which you can find in some dungeons and major places. Now, this game's a little different in that you won't get save points before bosses, usually. Usually you get it before a dungeon, or in the middle of a giant dungeon. But normally, you know, doesn't happen much. And I missed the item in there, but... And I was just gonna grab the item, and we have battles here, though. These battles here can be a little difficult. They are leveled so that it's not that bad, but, we have a toxic fly in armor here. I'm explaining something. What am I explaining? Probably about how the armor are really dickish, and the toxic... Yeah, the armor. So a star next to the damage means that the attack is absorbed by its armor. So basically, they're like Zangief. They have super guard and stuff. Magic goes through it, though. And toxic flies, skilled at dodging, so you're not going to hit them lots. This monster sometimes uses chlorine. So... flies are actually a very common enemy in the Breath of Fire series. You'll see them a lot. Surprisingly, the most iconic Breath of Fire enemy, which is the Gong Head, is not in this game. It's interesting. I'm discussing the armor's ability, but obviously because I am not doing it properly, I'm doing it slowly. I am going to just use some magic on them, though, because honestly, magic is the best way to go. Now, Cray has a lot of stat up and stat down magic right now. Later on, he does learn more attacks. His element, his main element, if you can't tell, is obviously Earth. And tries to use chlorine on us, and it doesn't work because... well, we're just awesome. Now, Wild Swing does random... or no, Wild Swing is the one where it does a critical hit if it hits. So that was a critical hit there. That is probably the worst move you're going to have to deal with here. So you see when Cray goes to attack, little star by it means that it's absorbed by the by its armor. So what you can do is, you can just attack its HP, but eventually if you keep attacking its armor will eventually break. And so, there's two different ways to it. Some enemies you do get a visual of it breaking, some enemies you don't. This one I don't think does, it just says there's a break in the armor. Other enemies, though, you'll see later on, do get sort of, when you remove the shield, their shield goes off of them. So you actually do get to see that. And Nina and Ryu level up because, well, they were so close to. Nina learned Barrier. I don't use stat up magic in this game. We got a Twister, Antidote, and Curious. Cuirass, I think. That's how you pronounce it. So Cuirass is a equipable item, unequipable item, sorry. And the Twister is obviously a fishing tool. Well, we'll get into fishing later. Now, Curious, or Cuirass, or however you say it, makes it sound like it's a female equipment, but it's not. And we're going to put on Ryu, because Ryu just has clothing on right now, and honestly, clothing doesn't provide much stuff. And we found an Aurum! Alright, let's continue exploring here. There's not much in the way of items and stuff to do. This place is really short if you don't explore. Since this is a dream and it's obviously foreshadowing, we will be coming back here later and there'll be more stuff, but as for now... no. For some reason, though, you do keep any items you get here, which is like some freaky deaky voodoo stuff, man. So, a little common recurring thing in the Breath of Fire series is that, oh, found another Aurum. Another thing that happens a lot in the Breath of Fire series is being able to loot lockers and stuff, loot any sort of cabinets. In the original, well, not the original, but in Breath of Fire 2, there was a guy who would keep track of that stat. And I remember talking to him at the end of the game, and he's like, "You're a horrible person. You stole stuff from 300 people's closets." And I'm like, oh, I am a horrible person. And we have another battle with a similar set of a toxic fly and an armor. This time we're going to take out the armor first by trying to use the same technique, but for some reason it just doesn't want to work. It wild swings us, and no, Cray thankfully has a lot of HP, so we're good in that regard. See, for some reason the combo counter doesn't go up, and I don't know the exact reasons why it doesn't. It's really weird, complicated formulas and stuff, probably, much like Pokemon, so I won't understand it. Though, I do recall one thing. Something sad here does happen. Something very sad. Something that made me kind of... thankfully, this is one of those games that averts the common RPG trope that pisses me off so royally. So, in RPGs when the main character dies, and it's like, oh, that's it, game over. Yeah, so Ryu just died. Lovely. But, it bothers me in RPGs where it's like the main character dies, and it's an immediate game over. It's like, you can't even just use heal magic on him or whatever. No, it's an immediate game over. Like, no, why would you do that? It's not nice, I mean, it's bad enough when they, also, I charge it, despite, but thankfully it runs away. It's bad enough when it's like, when you lose to an enemy, you go back to your last save point, and last save point could be a long time ago, but by just having the main character die, because that could happen with just any enemy, like, look what happened to me. Thankfully, number one, we're going to use up the Croc Tears, because we're never going to use those. I mean, look, we used 8 of them, and it did so little. Thankfully, there's no boss in this area. This is but a preview of something that comes much later, and I mean, like, much, much later. I mean, this is talking, like, really long time later. Thankfully, this is like the exit area, if you will, so somebody's coming. Oh, the fangirls use that line so much. What then is the status on the sacrifice? It continues to grow, Lord Yuna. Excellent, I am greatly pleased. Blast, they'll see us. If we walk behind the curtain slowly enough, we should be able to get to the other side without being seen. So you walk behind here slowly. It says slowly, but honestly, it's not a case of you have to. I mean, I don't think so. I take it slowly here just in case, because, you know, you never know. I always do, but I don't think it will. I don't think by running anything happens. Because as soon as you get here, well, the dream ends. The dream is dead. But that's fine. And we know this because the little healing jingle goes. So we're healed. Dream. Yes, you were in it, and so was Ryu. A dream where we all went to rescue Alina? I don't know how to pronounce it. I like saying Alina, personally. You mean, you had the same dream? Urshin says that was Ryu's dream. What do you mean, Urshin? Urshin says it was a dream of a possible future. One seen through the dragon's eye. So here's a little bit of an explanation. A glimpse of what may be. So basically, if you look carefully in promotional art, you'll see that Ryu has the eye of a dragon. Wait a second. You mean wait a second? You mean if we take him with us, he can take us to the place we saw in the dream? He can take us to Alina? I like Elena. I don't know which I like more. Apparently so. He's just like, oh, you guys were talking about me? Well, that's cool. Just do it behind my back, why don't you? So you can't really see it except in promotional art, so I might flash up on the screen right here, some art to see. Call it an omen, call it a vision, call it whatever you want to. I want to believe it's real. I gotta believe! Up until now, we haven't had much to go on. But now, I feel somehow closer to my sister, and this is one used a lot by Nina fanboys. Woo! Just like me, except, you know, I don't know, incest is kind of creepy sometimes. Looks like we're finally on the right track. Nah, actually, come to think of it, it's creepy all the time. Yeah. And it's all thanks to Ryu, isn't it? Duh, it's all thanks to us. Look at him, he's a little blush, little twerking the hand on the back of the head. Urshin says that she will go where Ryu goes. Well then, let's get moving! That's a Sonic joke. We can't use a sand flyer, so we'll have to go on foot. We'll follow the coastline and head north. And thus we do so. Now, this next coming up town is the point in the game where, since sometimes, you know, I start from the beginning, I want to play it from the beginning, you know games like that. This is usually the point where I stop playing. First off, I set up camp, though, because, let's see what's new with our party members' thoughts on everything. What about you, Cray? Right now, the only thing I care about is finding Elena. If something can help me do that. Even if it's a dream, I'll take it. And I run around Nina for good measure. Thank you, Ryu. I'm so glad that you'll help us look for my sister. What do you have to say, Urshin? Urshin wants to know if you believe in the dream shown to you by your dragon's eye, Ryu. Of course we do. I believe in fate and all that friendship, teamwork, and friendship stuff. Power of teamwork. Of course I do. Oh, right, no, this is where I was explaining his dragon's eye. Right, I remember now. There you go, boop. More promotional artwork of the dragon's eye, because it looks so damn awesome. Okay, past me, you can go. I see. Urshin says that for now. You should believe it, for it is all you have. It's like I was saying, it's at this point where I kind of turn off the game because, this coming up place is memorable as being kind of dickish. It's a town where their main gimmick is traps. So until then, folks, I will see you next time on Let's Play Breath of Fire 4 when we go into Karok, City of Traps. I'll see you next time. Ciao.